Scene 1, Rorschach. Exterior balcony, morning. A well-dressed 50-year-old man is smoking a cigarette. He takes the last puff, then he flips down the balcony, the butt, and starts to undo his tie. The knot dissolves quickly. The man takes his tie and throws it down too, soon followed by the shirt, the jacket, and the trousers. The man stands in pants and socks. It's cold, we can see his breath, but he doesn't seem to care. He looks around and nods with satisfaction. Then he bends and we see that his hands collect 2 smoke bombs. Expertly, he lights them, filling the air with red smoke, and starts to sing out loud while leaning on the edge.
There once was a yodeler on a mountain so high, when along came a cuckoo bird interrupting his cry. Holy-a-hey, holy-a cookie-a, holy-a-hey-hey, holy-a cookie-a, holy-a-hey-hey, holy-a cookie-a, oh.
The camera descends from the balcony up to the frame, the apartment window on the floor below. The camera enters the room. Interior, living room, morning. The 40-inch TV is on. We're watching a priest.
In the name of the Father.
At the exactly same time, we hear another voice.
The Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The camera turns 180 degrees, showing Claude. He's sitting on the couch. His right leg lays on a stool and his ankle is wrapped in a thick bandage. He's 19, but doesn't look anything like an ordinary teenager. He's earnest. His brown eyes are focused on the Holy Mass from behind a pair of round glasses. Claude's cell phone starts ringing. He looks at it with anger, but still takes the call.
Quickly, has begun.
We can't hear the answer.
I really can't. My ankle is pretty bad. We know that otherwise I'd be there in front row.
Another unknown answer.
Yes, next Sunday I'll be there. Get the blessing for me too. Say hello to Francis for me.
On the table in front of a sofa, we see a picture of Pope Francis. Claude shuts the call, willing to follow the mess, when, pumph, a dull thud from outside the front door.
Holy shit!
Claude looks up at the sky. A key repeatedly hits the door as if someone is not able to fit it in the lock. Without any fear, Claude tries to raise the volume on the TV, but is a moment of silence. The key comes in and finally, after 3 noisy turns, the door is wide open, letting in Lawrence Maietti, Claude's roommate and protagonist of our story. He's a couple years older than Claude, and they can't be more different. His white shirt, half unbuttoned, is decorated with various small spots and isn't in the best shape, just like the trousers, whose zip is lowered. The Converse All-Star with an eccentric design clash on the whole, but it is his style. He spent the evening out, there's no doubt. He shut the door and looked at the TV.
No, I've missed a new episode? Did he get out of Gethsemane?
Giving the roommate a look of annoyance and contempt, Claude turns back to the TV. Meanwhile, the Holy Mass has begun again. Lawrence takes off his shoes, throwing them away. Then he takes place on the couch. Claude's disgust raises, and unable to bear the disorder, he leaves the couch to take the shoes with 2 fingers and place them in the shoe rack. Taking advantage of the absence of the other, Lawrence dives onto the couch and lies down, occupying it. Annoyed, Claude sits on the edge of the sofa.
Dude, you gotta be there last night. A freaking party. Lots of gals, open bar, weed.
He stops to look at Claude, who's trying to ignore him and hear the Holy Mass. Just to annoy him again, Lawrence raises his feet and touches Claude's ear. The boy jumps up.
Yuck!
Look, I'm a talking to. What you did last night? Herb tea and prayers?
When the time comes, we'll see who will be saved.
Shameless. Lawrence, no on wood.
Well, forget it. Because if I'd take you with me last night, I wouldn't have had that quality time with an Aussie girl.
You know my point, no such things before marriage. And by the way, aren't you and Claire together?
Again? No! We're friends! Friends. I know that's a new world for you. You know? Human relationships and stuff?
So why is she always looking for you when something happens to her? She makes you gifts, asks you out, and calls every day to know where are you, forcing me to invent brand new bullshits to save your ass. Maybe, and I say maybe, she's in love with you and you're a little shit.
But what you know? In love, ha! We've known forever it would never work.
Claude, savoring the moment.
So why did she come up last night? Totally upset to see you. Oh, by the way, she's sleeping in your room right now.
Lawrence get up from his position. He's astonished.
Sleeping. In my room.
Yet.
On my bed?
If she'd been able to find it in that mess.
But why?
With an eloquent two-hands gesture, Claude indicates his roommate to go find out himself. As if in a trance, Lawrence gets up and walks to his room.
One last thing before you go to bed for the next 20 hours. We have to pay rent within the week.
Lawrence comes out of Claude's view, entering the small hall. Interior, Lawrence's room, morning. Lawrence's hangover has vanished while he slowly opens the door. In addition to an embarrassing amount of clothes on the ground and general chaos everywhere, the first thing that catches the eye is the silhouette of Claire, lying peacefully on the bed. Her long brown reddish hair glows, illuminated by two beams of light that filters from the damper. She's wearing Lawrence's t-shirt, which acts as a dress, leaving uncovered only the sinuous legs that reveals a decidedly attractive body. We can't see her face yet because she turns back to the door. Despite his fears and worries, the sight of the girl awakens Lawrence's interest. So, with a grin, he unbuttons his shirt and takes off his pants. He comes closer to the bed, lying behind the girl. While he's caressing her delicate face, his expression suddenly changes. His eyes are wide open, and he can't breathe regularly. He's terrified.
Finally, you're back.
Lawrence continues its inaction. The camera falls slightly, showing Claire's arms directly toward the pelvic area of the boy. Her eyes are still closed. She's literally taking him by the balls, and not in a pleasant way.
And now, my dear sociologist,
She widened her eyes. They're green, and they are the picture of fury.
we need to talk.
She squeezes even harder on his balls, making Lawrence chirping for the pain.
Claire, it's nice to see you. What ill wind brings you?
She lets go and turns. Lawrence returns to breathe.
Stormy wind, moron. A tsunami of shit that makes it seem Clinton and Lewinsky two stupid virgins.
Oh, come on. You know that I didn't understand those things.
Claire looks at him and takes a very deep breath. Otherwise, she'd cut his lover's head off with her bare hands.
My dear God, you're such an ignorant. I feel bad for the creature that will be your son.
What? Sons? No, there's no danger.
Oh, indeed, there's no danger, because now is a freaking certainty. I'm pregnant, asshole.
And whose?
A moment later, Claire's hand crashes with incredible violence on Lawrence's face. The boy, surprised by the force of the blow, falls from the bed and finds himself sitting on the ground with one hand covering his face.
You're crazy? Why'd you...
His eyes become glassy. Interior, living room, morning. On TV, the Holy Mass is finishing. Claude makes the sign of the cross. He takes the remote control in order to turn off the TV when...
Oh my God, why?
Bouncing on the couch for the strong cry, he gets up excitedly despite the dressing, going to his friend's bedroom. While limping as fast as he can, in the hallway he starts yelling back.
How many times I've told you, you shall not take the name of God.
He violently opens the door. Interior, Lawrence's room, morning.
In vain.
The scene that comes before him is tragicomic. Lawrence is in tears, kneeling on the ground with his back to Claire. His hands are clasped in front of him. The girl is watching him with growing disgust. Claude remains interdicted.
Do you have a reason to ruin the day of the Lord?
Lawrence looks at him with his teary eyes. Claire sits up.
That's nothing. I've just told him that I'm waiting his son, and that's how he reacted.
Claude is amazed. For a second he became sad while looking at her. He's disappointed.
Oh, I see.
He immediately comes to himself.
I don't know what to say or think.
These words rekindle a certain curiosity and hope in Lawrence, astonished to receive solidarity from Claude.
Well, that's what happens when marriage becomes only a legal requirement and all the people care about is sex.
Lawrence lowers his head again, starting to grumble, desperate.
You obviously keep it, right? At least that...
Lawrence whirls toward Claire as if he had the solution to everything.
Right? You can have an abortion.
Claude takes a step forward with his right hand ready to hit his roomie, but he's not fast enough. In fact, Claire anticipates him and gives him a second blow to Lawrence.
What's that? A conspiracy? What a shitty day.
The younger in the room drops his arm, surprised by what just happened. He looks at her admiringly.
Claire, it's not to make me your own business.
He leans towards Lawrence, grabbing him firmly by the shoulder.
But how can you even think of eliminate the one life?
With this gesture, Lawrence seems to regain control of himself and pushes away Claude.
Oh, the fuck you want? Go do the rosary. It's none of your business here.
Then he turns to Claire while Claude is leaving them alone.
Babe, let's talk. What you want to do?
She looks at him with teary eyes. She hadn't asked that to herself till now.
I don't know. There's so many reasons why keep him wouldn't be the right thing.
Claire looks with intensity in his eyes.
But also others even more important for which it is right. And I'm not speaking about ethics.
Lawrence remains silent, while the first tears begin to flow down Claire's cheeks. Continuing in his lucid moment, he approaches, kneeling before her. He takes her hands and kisses them.
But how can we have no job, and I can't imagine that the way we'd stay at home, and then we're the kids. How can we raise a child? And come on, you figure me out as a daddy?
He smiles, nodding his head to his clothes, dirty with alcohol. Claire sorts, unable to hide a smile.
I know, it's crazy. But don't think about families. They're just you and me. This child would be ours, and for this, it's worth it.
This time Lawrence fails to respond. He opens his mouth but closes it immediately. It is moved by what she said.
I have no words. Really. But Claire, how can we do... I don't know what I should do. Where to start? I'm just a poor sociology student.
But Claire knows him well. Her expression changes again. She wipes her tears and stands up. She's vaguely menacing.
Now listen carefully. I tried with the good, but you tried to be a smartass as usual, so now we're gonna change attitude.
Lawrence tries to get up, but she puts him down with a nudge.
My father thinks I'll spend the next 12 months in Erasmus, in Iceland, so we can't be in touch. But guess what? I'll come to live here with you.
He looks at her, totally lost.
Sorry, but I didn't understand the last part of the speech.
Oh no, you got it right. And since I've a dignity and feel sorry for Claude, I'll pay my share of rent and everything. But you?
She indicates him with the finger, staring into his eyes.
Baby boy, you gotta find a job, and fast. 'Cause I'm in 9 months, will be not just you, me, and Claude in here. And sooner or later, I gotta be back from Iceland, and it's better if you get organized.
The camera plug out of the room, showing Claude hidden behind the wall, who has overheard the whole conversation and is very happy that Claire remains with them.